Hello, welcome to our Lunch and Learn. Today we're going to be talking about add-ons with our presenter, Bobby Hritz. Please comment or ask a question during the live stream to be entered into a raffle for a restaurant gift card. And this is also being recorded, so you can also watch it later and share it out. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Bobby.
All right, thanks, Laura. So today we will be talking about add-ons. Add-ons are a new feature that Claris has added into the FileMaker product. They are still in development, so it's still a very new feature. But I figured today we could go over what they are, if you aren't familiar with them, and then we'll actually go over how to create one very quickly and how to utilize them within your solution. So let's start with what are add-ons. So these are modular pieces of code that can be bundled into reusable and shareable packages. As I mentioned before, these are still currently being developed by Claris, and by that I mean they're still adding features into them. So it's currently a working feature, but as time goes on, it's expected that this feature, more features will be added into the add-on feature, if that makes sense. I like to categorize add-ons into two broad types. These are informal categories, but I consider we have normal add-ons and JavaScript web viewer add-ons. So just kind of keep those two types of informal categories in mind as we go through this. So how to create? It's pretty easy. So you'll want to start with just creating a FileMaker file. I'd recommend starting small, and then just build whatever you want to be able to reuse in a FileMaker file. Once you have that set up, you could run the script step that is called save a copy as add-on package. What that will do is it will save all of your layouts, schema, and value lists and scripts into a bundle, and that bundle will be put into the FileMaker extension / add-on module folder. And it'll consist of a folder containing a bunch of different, essentially the bundle, and it could also possibly contain a plugin file. And we'll go over that in a little bit, but that's just kind of a very broad overview of how to create an add-on file. There's more to it, and if you're interested in learning more, I know Geist has a very good article explaining some of the different things you could do in terms of creating an add-on. I believe Ronnie posted one as well somewhere, Ronnie Rios with Claris. So where you could find add-ons. So in the newer versions of FileMaker 19, they do contain some pre-built add-ons, and you can also find add-ons that have been created by other Claris partners on the marketplace, which we'll go to real quick. So this is the Claris marketplace. And you can see already some partners have added or have put up add-ons onto the Claris Marketplace add-on category. So check it out when you get a chance. And again, that's another place where right now there's only a couple pages worth of add-ons, but you can expect that will grow as time goes on. So those are just some basics about add-ons. Okay, so how do you use add-ons within your solution? The first thing you'll want to do is go into layout mode. Once you're in layout mode, on the left-hand pane here, there's fields, objects, and a new tab for add-ons. So you'd select there, and it will show you a list of all of the add-ons that you have installed in your file. Once an add-on is installed in a file, it will stick with that file, but they are file specific. So if you wanted to use that add-on across different files, you'd have to add it to each separate file. In order to actually add an add-on to your file, you'd click this little plus button, and then it will show you all of the add-ons that you have to choose from. I think that is it. And then once you select that add-on, it will copy over all the layout, scripts, and schema that are within that add-on into your file. Talking about it's one thing, but seeing is believing. So let's hop into layout mode here, and let's actually add an add-on into our solution. So I'm in layout mode right now. By default, fields will be selected here in the left-hand pane. So you'll go over here to the add-on panel, or tab. Again, it's not showing any add-ons are installed because I haven't installed any for this file. So I'll just click this plus button. And it will bring up a list of all the add-ons that I have available to me to install in this file. So you can kind of see here they are sorted by category. So you do have a JavaScript category and a tables category. These would be more of your typical add-ons that just have schema and maybe a couple layouts. The JavaScript ones are a little more advanced. They're pretty cool though. I'll show a separate example of a JavaScript add-on here in a second. But just for simplicity, I'm going to add in the people add-on into my file. You can see here it kind of gives you an explanation of what it's adding. So it's going to add a people table, an assignments table, it's going to add a couple layouts, and it's going to add these scripts. So I'm going to hit choose. And you can see that now my add-ons list is populated with the people add-on. If I go here to my layout picker, I can see that it added in a couple layouts. I could also hop into database mode just by hitting Command-Shift-D, and I can see that it's added in a couple of tables as well. So that is what the add-on actually added to my file. Another cool feature, once your add-on is added in, depending on how the add-on is configured, you might have the option to drag and drop different components onto your layout. In this case, the people add-on, when you drag and drop onto your layout, it gives you an assignment portal linked to the current table that you're on. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that real quick. Or no, actually, to show off the last part of add-ons, I'm going to keep that on there. I'm going to hit Command-S to save the layout. So let's say you put an add-on onto your file, but you really don't want it there. You realize you don't need it. If you right-click on that add-on and you hit uninstall add-on, it will remove everything related to that add-on. So these are very modular pieces of code that could easily be added and also easily removed. So I'm going to hit uninstall add-on and whoop, voila, it is gone. And just to show you that it is gone, if I go to my layout viewer, those corresponding layouts are gone as well. So let's navigate back over here. So I just demoed how to add an add-on file to your solution. The next thing you might want to know is how to share an add-on file, right? So after you've created your own add-on file, how do you share that out to people? So it's pretty simple. Once you create your add-on, you'll have your corresponding add-on files. If you look at the screenshot down below, if you're looking at the cross timeline add-on bundle, you have a folder called cross timeline, and you also have an add-on file. So those would be the two files that would make up your bundle, so to speak. You might not always have a plugin, but in this case we do. So pretty much you just share it out to whatever machine you want to make that add-on available to, and then you just put it into your add-on modules folder, which we'll demo right now. So over here on the left, we are in our add-on modules folder. Again, you go to Application Support, FileMaker, Extensions, Add-on Modules, and that's on a Mac. So we're here looking at all of my add-on modules that I have in. Over here, I have an add-on that I would like to add. So I just drag and drop that right in. And then the final step is we will need to actually close out FileMaker. reopen it. Oh, got to actually quit it first. So let's quit the application. So we did that. I'm going to reopen it, and that will, the act of reopening FileMaker will sort of reset that list, and it will now include that add-on that I just added in. So let me log in. And now if I go to layout mode to add this add-on into my file, it will appear there. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. So this is an example of a JavaScript file. Again, it includes our tables and layouts and scripts that are included in the add-on. So I'm going to hit choose. Let's navigate back over to our slide for JavaScript add-ons. Okay, so JavaScript web viewer add-ons, I consider them a special type of add-on. When they're created and configured correctly, it allows you to very easily drag and drop a unique web viewer onto your layout that can then be configured to pull data from different tables. So we'll go into browse mode and kind of show off what that looks like. Let me navigate back over there. So the key thing with JavaScript web viewer add-ons is they need to be configured. So you drag it onto your layout, it creates a unique copy of that web viewer, and then you can hit configure. In our case, this little sample add-on that we created, we just have some basic options. I'm not going to mess with those too much, but I am going to show off how you can configure it to pull data from a table. So right now I'm just kind of selecting the fields that are going to be used to pull data into our chart. I'm going to preview it just to make sure. Okay, it looks good. And so just like that, we now have a very easily set up, customizable JavaScript chart on our layout. And it's unique too. So I'm actually going to hop onto the next slide over and drag and drop another unique instance of that web viewer. And if I hit configure, I'm actually going to use the same data, but I'm just going to switch a couple values, or a couple options, I suppose. Let's see if that will change it enough to be noticeable. Yeah. So we have two unique charts. The key difference being that I set the option to not show the row label on the actual timeline. So that, in a nutshell, is add-ons. They're very cool little pieces of code that are reusable. So I think I will hand it over to Laura for some questions that we might have had.
Great. Thanks for the presentation, Bobby. Again, a reminder to people to comment or ask questions during this, and you'll be entered for a raffle to win a restaurant gift card. So don't be shy. Enter those questions. But we have a couple questions going on right now. The first one would be, if you add add-on to a file, will it show, or install an add-on to a file, will it show for all the users?
So that's a good question. Once an add-on is installed in a file, it will show for all users. So any layouts, tables, schema, all that stuff will be available to all users within that file.
Okay, great. So if you like drag and drop or add a add-on to a file, can you add the same add-on or multiple instances of the add-on to a file?
So that's sort of a tricky question. Yes, if it's configured properly. So depending on how the add-on file is configured when it's created, it could either be configured to be a single-use add-on, or it could be configured like we saw with that final JavaScript add-on, where you can install it and then drag and drop multiple different pieces multiple different times in such a way that they're unique. So it really depends on how that add-on is configured.
Okay, cool. And if you uninstall add-on, what gets removed with it?
Yeah, so when you uninstall an add-on, everything that add-on installs, number one, gets removed. So anything that is automatically installed, and it will also remove anything that's been drag and dropped onto the layouts that correspond to that add-on.
Okay, cool. Next question is, can you use the add-ons that you add to a file in older versions of FileMaker?
So that's another good question. You can, assuming that the add-on only include, like, it would have to include features that are included in those older versions. So that's the one caveat. The other thing I'll mention is that if you do add an add-on into a file and then open it in an older version, you might not be able to systematically uninstall the add-on. So you won't have that little add-on tab where you could uninstall the add-on. But the layouts will work, the scripts will work. Again, assuming that you're not using any features that aren't in that version of FileMaker.
Okay, cool. And then I think time for a last question. Where can you find other add-ons other than the ones you already seen there?
Yeah, so I kind of went over that briefly. Oh, that's my email. I guess I closed out of it. So the Claris Marketplace,
Yeah,
is where you can see them. I thought I
if
left
we can
it
see
up.
that.
So on the Claris Marketplace here, you could see any
Cannot
add-ons.
clearly see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was not listening. So yeah, so the Claris Marketplace is where you can see them. Again, just by going to marketplace.claris.com and then selecting the add-on category, you'll be able to see all the add-ons that other developers have submitted onto the Claris Marketplace.
Great. Thanks. I think that's all the questions we have for today.
All right, cool.
Cool. So thank you again, Bobby, for presenting information about add-ons. Thank you for all who came in and watched for here. If you like this, please click the thumbs up, like, and share this with other people if you think it's useful or they would be interested. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And to also be notified for next one, hit the bell icon underneath there. We also have the survey at the bottom of the description. We really want your feedback, and you can submit topics there. But another way to submit topics is at our email, nutshell@crossit.com. And we will try to solve your issues there, and you might be featured at a future Lunch and Learn. We would be glad to help you, but right now we're glad to have served you Lunch and Learn. Thank you.